All right, so we're back looking at some different things we're going to do with lists. So the first thing we're going to look at is summation. So what I have here, if you want to take a look really quickly, is first off I made a class. The class is called Scary Movie. It's going to take in a title as a string, and it's going to take in a scare level. Okay, and then I just have two getters, get title and get scare level. So it's going to be pretty basic here. So then I came in and I made a list that holds scary movies. So this time it's going to be a little different. I'm not doing integers, which we'll discuss a little bit. But this it's going to hold scary movies. And you can see what I did there is put movie list equals new array list scary movie. So the first thing I want to do is add a bunch of scary movies. So I'm going to go movie list.add. And you can see here it takes in a scary movie. So I'm going to do add, and I'm going to say new scary movie, and call the constructor, which takes in a title. I'm going to say get out, and takes in a scare level, and I'm put 98 there. I'm just kind of making these up as I go. So I just Googled a bunch of scary movies, and I'm not going to sit here and do all of them. So if I paste in a bunch there, I have 10 or so or whatever I have there, scary movies. So that's how you add an object to a list. Okay. So there's two things I want to do first is the summation. I'm going to just count up and add up everything. And what I'm going to add up is I'm going to add up all the scare values. So I'm going to do 98 plus 85 plus 92 plus 93 plus 83 and so on and so forth. So when I do this, we should know we're going to create a sum here and start the sum at 0. This is a perfect time to do a for each loop. So I'm going to come in and do for, and we know there's going to be an int. So int x, or I'm sorry, it's not an int, it's a scary movie. X, I guess we'll call it x. And then you put in what it is, and it's from the movie list. So sometimes I actually should do this and work backwards from you guys. So it's for every scary movie in movie list. So that's why it's called a for each loop. For every scary movie in movie list. And what I want to do there is I want to add up. So I'm going to do sum plus equals x. Remember, x now is a scary movie. So the first time it's going to be get out. So I'm going to do x dot, and there is a get scare level. And then the next time x will be the exorcist. And so on and so forth. So in sum equals 0 for every scary movie x in movie list, I will do x dot get scare level. Maybe I should call this movie. Just makes more sense. Okay. And if I come down and system.out.println sum and I run this, I'm not going to add up all those, but 809 sounds about right. All right. That is how you do a summation. Okay. So pretty basic there. We can throw an if statement in if we want to. If I did something like if x dot get, or it's not x anymore, it's movie dot get scare level is greater than 90. So this will add up all the movies, the scare levels of all the movies that are greater than 90. And you're going to get 473. Now that's probably not the best case to do this, but the next one would be instead of doing a summation one, a lot of times we do what is called counting. So in this case, I'm going to count all the scary movies that have a scare factor or a scare level over 90, we'll say. So very similar, int count equals 0 for every scary movie in movie list. But now I'm going to sit in here with this if statement and just say if movie.get scare level is greater than 90, then we're going to do count, and we're not going to add anything. We're just going to do count plus plus. So now this will add up all the scary movies that are over 90. And I will just print out my count. So if we look over here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I should get 6 out of there. So if I run this, I get 5, which is I'm missing something here. Oh, I just put greater than 90. I imagine 1 is 90. Yeah, 1 is 90. So greater than or equal to 90. And now I should get the 6 that comes out. So I get the 6 that comes out, and that's a good way to look at counting. And you have to do that a lot in the AP test and some free response questions that I'm going to kind of give you over the next couple days or so. So that's one way to look at it. The next one I'm going to do, and then I'm going to kind of stop after that, is something that you guys were struggling on a little bit. I saw some interesting things when I do this, is the lowest and the highest. You don't need to like bubble sort them to find the lowest number. Some of you guys were doing that, and it works, but the efficiency is just not that great. So whenever you start this, I always put, I want to find the lowest scary, or let's do the highest scary movie. That'll make more sense, but lowest, we can do lowest as well. So I want to find the scariest movie out of this whole list. So if we look up here, we end up knowing it's going to be Get Out at 98. Maybe I'll just change one of these and put The Ring at 99 just to make that one the highest, just in the middle rather than the first one. So what I want is the highest scary movie. So I'm going to start by putting scary movie. I'm going to make a variable called scary movie. Scariest, or scariest, spell that right. And I am going to set that equal to the first one always. So I'm going to do movie list dot get 0. So right now I am assuming that the first movie is the scariest movie. And I'm going to run through, I just got to run through all of these. And I have to see if any of these are scarier than that first one. So once again, I can do a for each loop. So for scary movie, for every scary movie in the movie list, I am going to see if scariest, let's grab if movie dot get scare level is greater than, so if the movie's scare level is greater than the scariest dot get scare level, then I know I have a new scariest movie. So scariest will equal movie. Okay, and I just go through them and I just run through it again. So if you think about how this works, is Get Out right now, as I'm assuming, is the scariest. It's a 98. So then I actually grab the first one. I'll compare it to itself, which it'll obviously become the scariest. But then I'll come here and run The Exorcist at 85. So if 85 is greater than 98, which it is not, then that would become the scariest, and then so on and so forth. So if I'm done here, I'm going to just print out. So let's just print this out. I'm going to print out scariest dot get title. So hopefully we get out that The Ring is the scariest movie. And there we go, we get the scariest. If I switch this to the least scariest or the lowest, so I'll put, least scariest, just make sure I don't mess up any of these. So you guys can kind of run through this. I probably don't need to do all this. Least scariest. Still set it equal to the first one. So you want to now see if movie that is less than that, then that becomes it. And then least scariest. I think I did everything correctly. And it's saying the Scream is the least scariest, 78. I believe that's right. Yep. So 78, and you're done there. So that's how you do lowest and highest. Keep that in mind. I'm going to jump into the next thing we're going to look at is doing some matching, and talk about that in the next video. All right.